seconds and counting.
Hey, what's good, guys? Clips Entertainment here, back in another video. And for today's video, I'm going to be talking about the Houston Texans. And the Houston Texans wrapped up another day of training camp today. It was another open session, so fans and whoever really wanted to go were open to attend. And it seemed like it was a pretty fun day. Pads were on, players were hitting. There was even a little bit of an altercation between Christian Harris and Devin Singletary. There's a little bit of a scruffle right there. Nothing too crazy. Nothing transpired too much. But I mean, it was a little bit of a confrontation. Apparently, Devin Singletary squared up like he was gonna actually want to fight Christian Harris, and I mean it's kind of entertaining for fans to see. But then from the team perspective, I mean it's not the best of things because you want those two guys to be teammates. You want them to be brothers, friends to each other, really good connection and stuff like that. And I mean, I'm sure it wasn't nothing too serious. I'm sure they hugged it out or whatever after. I'm sure it was just a heat of the moment type of thing. I think it was because Christian Harris hit him a little bit too hard than what he should have in practice or something like that. I mean, I wasn't there, so I wasn't able to see exactly what happened. But just from people that were tweeting on the timeline on Twitter, that's kind of what it seemed to happen. But I don't know for sure. Other things, a lot of people were saying Davis Mills will have the better day between the quarterbacks, and I mean, I'm not gonna say that's concerning, but it's kind of telling. I mean, I'm a huge CJ Stroud fan. I do think he's gonna end up starting week 1, but it seems like Davis Mills has been putting together a couple of good days of practice. It seems like he had a pretty good preseason game the other night. It seems like he's been having a great offseason in general. I don't think this is gonna mean anything for him. I don't think there's any chance he starts. Even if he shows he's a little bit more ready than CJ Stroud, I'm not sure exactly what's going on. It's not like CJ Stroud had a bad day today. I don't think he threw any interceptions. He did have one almost interception. I believe it was to Jimmy Ward. But in terms of like pure interceptions, I don't think he had any. So I mean, that's good to see. I'm not exactly sure what they mean when Davis Mills had the better day. There's not too many clips of him throwing the football today. There's not really any. I didn't see any stats today from either quarterback, like Davis Mills threw blah 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 or CJ Stroud threw blah blah blah. I didn't see anything like that, so I'm not sure how they're determining that. Maybe it meant like he had more poise in the pocket, had more control of the offense. I mean, I would expect that to be the case because Davis Mills is in his third year in this team in general. He's the more NFL acclimated than CJ Stroud. CJ Stroud's still getting a grasp with things, so I would expect Davis Mills to be more ready, but I don't know. I think CJ Stroud, he's going to be a great NFL quarterback. I think he's going to end up starting week 1, but it seemed like Davis Mills had a better day of practice today. Other things of note, I mean, Tank Dell, another good day all over the field. D'Amico Ryans even had something to say, like, he needs to stop ripping our defense apart or something like that. So he had another great day. More things to come for Tank Dell in this upcoming preseason game, and of course week 1 against the Ravens. Derek Stingley, apparently he had a pass breakup, and then after that he was talking to the trainers. It seemed like it was nothing major because he didn't have to come off or anything, or he wasn't really talking to them like too much, but he did have to go talk to them, and I'm not sure if he participated after that, but he didn't have to like I guess get anything checked out, if you will, or at least in public he didn't. Maybe he went back to the locker room after practice, who knows? But yeah, there's that. That's kind of, I don't think it's anything to be worried about, but they may be a little bit cautious because I mean we all know how his hamstring injuries and soft tissue injuries have been over the past few years, and of course his Lens Frank. I mean, obviously wasn't anything involved in that, but he has a little bit of injury history. Jimmy Ward, he had a great day of practice. Seemed like he was everywhere. Making hits everywhere. He actually made a hit stick type of play on Noah Brown, and I mean that's good to see that your veteran safety is all over the field, being that leader that you want him to be on defense. I mean that's great to see. The secondary looked like it was pretty good. Outside of that, I mean it wasn't really too much. Will Anderson had another good day. He had a back-to-back couple of good plays. I think on one of them he had a TFL, and then one of them, I don't know if it was a tackle or just a sack. I'm not sure exactly what it was, but he had a good day of practice, as he has been for these past couple of weeks. And then, of course, he had a pretty good preseason game. The Texans also, they did cut running back Valladay, and that was kind of to a surprise. I mean, apparently they really liked him. They gave him, I think, the biggest contract to an undrafted free agent this past offseason. I think they gave him like almost 800,000 or something like that. Most only get, I'm not sure, I may be wrong on this, but I think most get like maybe like 200 or 100,000 to come on as an undrafted free agent. He ended up getting like 800, I think, or something like that. So they ended up cutting him. I want to say they cut somebody else. I'm blanking on his name right now, but they did sign wide receiver Adam Humphries. He's probably just going to be a camp body. He comes from the Titans, or he came from the Bucks and then the Titans, and then now in Houston. So he does have a little bit of a familiarity with the type of offense. He's probably just going to be a camp body, fill in for some preseason games. And who knows, maybe he does make a good impression. But I just think this wide receiver room is too stacked. It's too loaded. There's too many guys. I don't think there's any way he makes the roster unless bearing a Noah Brown injury or Robert Woods injury. But yeah, I mean, he's probably just going to be a camp body. Let's see, what else? Christian Harris, he seemed like he was all over the field outside of that fight. I mean, he had a good game, a good day of practice. He was everywhere. He made some good plays. Henry To'oTo'o, I saw somebody tweet about him. I think it was Brooks Cabina or somebody like that. Or maybe it was DJ Bieniemy. He had a very good day. He was all over the field, so that's good to see. The linebackers, they all look like they've been having a great camp. Of course, Denzel Perryman, he had a good day, a good preseason game this past week, and then he's having a good camp. Same as Christian Harris, Henry To'oTo'o, Blake Cashman. We haven't heard too much of Christian Kirksey. I'm not sure if that's a sign that he may be cut. Same with Corey Littleton. I mean, I haven't heard or seen anything about Corey Littleton really. Same with Christian Kirksey. Maybe those two guys are going to be cut casualties in the future. Towards the end of camp, we will see. Our linebacker room does seem to be pretty much set, or at least like the starting linebackers. I think it's going to end up being Denzel Perryman with Christian Harris, and probably just going to be Blake Cashman. I don't see Henry To'oTo'o starting right away as a rookie. Maybe as the season goes on, maybe he does, but right away, I don't really see any way. I mean, but yeah, that's pretty much it. Not too many things from this camp, but there was some things to keep note of, as I mentioned earlier in this video. But yeah, the Dolphins will be coming into town very soon, and they have a preseason game against the Dolphins next Saturday night, I believe. So that's gonna be fun. But I mean, yeah, it's been Clutch City Entertainment, and I hope you guys have a good day. Peace.